Reconnecting Africa, we are here in Sydney, Australia, just to follow the protest that is being run by Indigenous people. As you know, this is Australia Day, a day that one side of Australia is celebrating, but the Indigenous peoples are still mourning the presence of the European about 250 years ago. So this is Reconnecting Africa. Stay tuned, you'll see what's happening here. This is Reconnecting Africa. We are to cover the protest of Indigenous people. As you know, the Indigenous people of this land, they don't celebrate the Australian Day, the day of invasion, the day that the colonizer entered this country.
Aboriginal sovereignty means that Australia is here illegally. This country is occupied by a foreign power. 250 years ago, when Lieutenant Cook reclaimed this continent in the name of the British King, he did so illegally under his own laws. He broke law under international rule at that time. That unbroken law continues today. You know what's really funny? That while everybody else celebrates Australia Day and drinks alcohol, all the native entitlement decisions have been and gone, so they're there poisoning our water, savaging our land, taking our resources, still selling it to our own people for a more expensive price, but then selling it overseas for $1 and a dime. Shame!
This is Reconnecting Africa. We are here covering the protests run by the Indigenous people. As you know, what the white Australians are celebrating, the Indigenous people are here protesting this day.
Understand, every death in this colony is a death in custody. Whether we're behind bars or not, we are under illegal supremacy. Every time one of our people pass away, it's a death, it's a murder.
There's no pride in genocide. This marks 235 years since the British ship arrived at Botany Bay. They invaded our lands, stealing it, killing our extended family members, turning our warriors into slaves until they died. They raped the women and brutally killed the children. How can this day be celebrated when it's murder, land theft, and plain cold genocide?
This is Australian Day, meant to be a celebration. Instead, the Indigenous people are coming out here in protest, because this day, for those who don't know, is the day that the Europeans arrived in Australia 250 years ago. So the Indigenous people still sorrowful. The Indigenous people is not celebrating this day. Instead, they're voicing their disappointment here. This is Reconnecting Africa, covering all that happens around us.
Always will be. What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? Now! Stop killing black people!
Stop killing black people! Stop stealing black children! Stop killing
connecting Africa. As you see, there's a massive protest here where the indigenous people are saying that this is not a celebration day for them. This is an invasion day. As you know, the white Australians took over Australia. Indigenous people were killed on that day. So the indigenous people every year celebrate this day as a day of mourning, whereas the white Australians see as a day of Australian foundation, the day that Australia started. But the thing that I noticed as well is that every year more non-indigenous people are getting involved in this fight for justice and fighting for equality. So this is a day that a lot of Australians are celebrating. The indigenous people are here protesting. So what do you think about this day?
I think it should be changed. I think it doesn't really matter to white people. I think it's just a way for them to have a public day off and drink alcohol and not actually really think about how this country and this land was taken and started from a white man's perspective. And I think, yeah, it's important. I mean, they've been here for a lot longer than we have. Definitely don't think that genocide should happen again. No. I mean, there's still I think there's been over 500 Aboriginal deaths in custody still. So, how is that not more spoken about or in the news? It's just swept under the carpet because they don't want there to think that there's a cop problem and that there's racist cops in the system, which evidently there are. And there has been for a very long time.
Chance of changing soon with the way it's going?
Oh God, I would hope so. I don't know. I think it's a systemic problem for sure. I mean, you saw how many cops are here today. A lot of them have their body cams on for what? For people standing in the park cheering. We have cops on horses as well, just in case people get too loud and then they can stop them down. I get very angry about the police, so that's just me.
You know what? I fully agree.
Yeah. Aboriginal people don't want there to be any trouble. That's the whole point. They're trying to do it in a peaceful manner, because what is more violence going to cause? They're just going to be continually harassed and killed. So.
Do you have any message to the rest of Australians?
Oh God, I don't know.
I mean, whatever brings more love, whatever brings more peace, whatever brings people together in a nice, real conversation that they can have together. Do you know what I mean? Just something that says we're here.
And we support Aboriginal people.
Let's be in the same movement. Let's try to figure out a peaceful way to just understand, rather than shutting people down and stopping the conversation.
Do you think the government is listening to the people?
Hopefully. That's what we can do.
I don't know. I don't know if they're listening. I think Albanese is trying to listen. He's a lot better than ScoMo. Sorry, I don't know if I can swear on this. But yeah, I don't know. They've still got a long way to go.
Lot of way to go.
Yeah.
Where you heard, not from me, but from Australians here, they are saying that it's still a long way to go. I really thank you guys. Things getting better?
No, I think there are moments where there's some change, but the system is inherently rotten, and it's a colonial system.
A lot of people, they don't know that Australia is still under colonial.
Yeah, of course, and that's Australia is one of the many settler colonies in the world, and there's a lot of work to be done in terms of true justice. I kind of wanted to see that.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your work. Do you think this day should be kept?
No, I don't think so.
Is it really sad that this is 2023 and Australia hasn't changed?
Yeah, it's
sad.
Do you think Australia one day will see changes?
I hope so. You can only hope. You shouldn't even try.
Yes. So, do you think that all Australia should embrace on this fight?
Well, yeah, that's a complex topic though, because a lot of people don't want it. So,
Yeah, that's true. What's your message for those who don't want it?
just to chat with the people affected, I guess, and try to understand their view.
Good point.
Yeah,
So you're saying to get to know them.
yeah, exactly.
Well, thank you. You just spoke to Reconnecting Africa. Check us on
Oh my
YouTube.
God, amazing. Thank you.
Subscribe and all about the indigenous struggle throughout the world.
Amazing.
So this is Reconnecting Africa. We are here in Sydney, Australia, just showing you things that in 2023 still happening. People protesting for their rights, basic rights. Thank you. She just brought my water. Thank you, man. You think Australia is different to 50, 30 years ago or still the same?
Changed a bit. There's people at least who are part of the colonizers who are here to support. There's still a long way to go, and there's still a lot of atrocity.
You see the support of black people, African background, supporting the indigenous tribes. When you see Australia, do you see Australia improving or getting worse or still the same?
It's a really hard question, I think, because it's complicated, right? It's very complicated. What I think is getting better is a recognition to have these conversations.
What message do you have to the non-indigenous?
Learn, try to sit, listen, learn, feel uncomfortable when you feel uncomfortable. That's how change happens. Speak up to your racist auntie and your uncles. Challenge their thoughts.
I see a lot of black people outside of Australia really coming in numbers and supporting the cause because what they're going through, our ancestors.
Exactly.
And a lot.
Exactly. I was still born in a time of apartheid in South Africa. No one else is going to fight for us. We have to fight together as well. So keep standing in solidarity, and that's why I'm here.
Exactly. We got the spirit of our ancestors. A lot of us were taken as a slave, but never stopped fighting. A lot of our ancestors stayed under apartheid, under colonization. They never stopped. And when we see the fight here, we see a lot of similarities.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. My sister, I really, really thank you. This is South Africa in the house. Amanglo. Hi guys, this is Reconnecting Africa. As you know, there's a protest here on this day, Australian Day, a day that a lot of people celebrate, but a good number also is against this day. So I'm here with someone that is, I think is in favor of changing the day. Now, what's your name, sir?
My name's David.
Okay, what are you doing here, David?
Well, I'm here to support Indigenous people in a quest for basic human rights and a recognition that they are the people who own this land. Colonisation and imperialism started in 1788 in this country and it continues to this day. And there are people like me who continue to be advantaged by the invasion and conquest of this land and the imperialism of this land. And there are people who continue to be disadvantaged. And we have an ethical responsibility, those like me who continue to be advantaged by the invasion. We have a responsibility to towards those people who continue to be disadvantaged.
So, do you think the government is not looking after the Indigenous people?
Well, the government certainly is not looking after the Indigenous people. Here, 235 years after the invasion and colonisation, Indigenous people are still having their land taken from them. That's happening in many places. there's a disproportionate number of Indigenous people in custody, and there are a disproportionate number of people who die in custody. So, yes, the land stealing is still going on. Because this is a human tragedy that we have not come to terms with and have not done something about.
It's against the system, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. I mean, it's against the system of imperialism and capitalism which has given rise to this situation.
Do you have any message for those Australians that they still don't care about it?
Well, I think there are Australians who don't care. There's a larger number who do care and are sympathetic, but do not know the extent of the problem and do not know that by getting out on the streets and voicing their opinions, their voice and their desire to have things changed, those people don't know that. And if they did know, if they get involved, then sooner rather than later, we'd start to move on to a path towards justice.
Yeah, so I really thank you. Is there any last message?
Look, there's one more last thing I'd like to say. It's a fairly minor point.
Sure.
You suggested in the opening that I might be someone who wants to change the date.
Sure.
Now, there are different opinions on this. I do not want to change the date. This date is the date of Invasion Day. And until we change it into something else, which wouldn't be Australia Day, I have trouble saying that, but it wouldn't be Australia Day. I hope one day it could be Justice Day for Indigenous people.
That really makes sense, and I just want to clarify for those who think that the fight is against one race, is against the system that, like the man here say, David, isn't it? He has said that to benefit one group and it doesn't help the other group. I really thank you, David, for sharing your thoughts and your honesty here. You spoke to Reconnecting Africa. You can check us out on YouTube.
Okay, thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
It's unbelievable what we white people have done to this country, to the First Nations people who were there before any of us came. And this is so wrong, and I want that they get justice and that the Aboriginal people get to say what's happening in this country, not just about themselves, because it's their country, and they have to really to be the people who decide what's happening in this country.
Right.
Yeah. How do you feel to be here? How do you feel to be here?
Very emotional, actually. I can really empathise with the plight. We are settlers on this land, and we are benefiting from that. This land was never ceded, and as a person who has come here as a refugee, I benefit from everything that Australia has to offer at the expense of the Indigenous this land. I came here from East Africa, kicked out by Idi Amin.
And so you understand what's like struggling, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was only very young, I was only a baby, but I do have family that constantly express how horrible it was to be kicked out of their country and have to settle somewhere new. So, which is what's happened here, kind of, yeah. It's just all about empathy and compassion. We're all benefiting from the displacement of other people who are the rightful owners of this land. This land was never ceded, but we're all benefiting from the colonisation of this land, which is, very sad. I'm also Indian, so I know about the British colonisation of India as well. So, it's all about having that understanding and educating yourself and knowing that we are on stolen land and we do have to pay the rent.
So you just want to show love to the Indigenous Australians.
Love, support, and know that this land is rightfully theirs.
Hi guys, this is Reconnecting Africa. I spoke to a lot of non-Indigenous. Now I'm here talking to indigenous of this land. So I want to hear their opinion, what they think about this day. Tell me, my sister.
Just letting everybody know that we have survived, we are still here, and we're still fighting. We will not go away, we'll stand and we'll fight until the next generation comes along to fight for us.
So you think the fight is in good hands? The new generation will take over?
Our next generation will come through stronger, taller, prouder, more voice. They've got ancestors travelling with them.
Exactly. And I just want to say that the other indigenous people throughout the world are with you in this battle. We are here to support you as well.
Yes.
Yeah, and because your struggle is our struggle.
Yes. We all struggle. We all got struggle. This day brings us together to let everybody know. We're still here, we're still fighting, we're not going away. And our next generation, our warriors that's going to come through, stronger with their voice.
You heard that's an indigenous sister. My sister, you want to say something?
And we're Gomeroi, proud Gomeroi woman.
It's our town.
That's Moree.
Moree. You came all the way from Moree. Those are the indigenous still battling. And we hope that this battle is over soon, because every year I notice the increase of support. Yes. You are being support.
Yes. Thank you. Happy Survival Day.
Thank you. Hi there. This is Reconnecting Africa. We are here. I just saw the end of a protest. As you see, the indigenous people are protesting. This day is a day that for indigenous people is a day of sorrow. It's not a day of celebration. This is the day, like you heard, that the Europeans first came to Australia. On this day, they did a lot of things that the indigenous people can't forget. So every year, they come out showing their disappointment. And as you see, not just indigenous people, even people from other background. Indigenous of other lands also came in support. White people also, because like you heard the conversation I had with David, it's not a fight against white people. It's against the system that favors one race.
You ain't even got spines, what privilege is on the floor? Soak it up, snowflake. Why you cry? You